Good evening, Jessica Van Vonderen with ABC News. Scott Morrison has completed a makeover of his cabinet to cope with the imminent loss of two ministers. Christopher Pyne and Steve Ciobo have confirmed they'll quit politics at the election, taking with them more than 40 years of combined parliamentary experience. The Prime Minister's responded with a micro-ministerial reshuffle and promoted another woman into his cabinet. National Affairs correspondent Greg Jennett reports from Parliament House.
The House call at Yarralumla came a month sooner than Scott Morrison had planned.
Your Excellency...
And for reasons he couldn't control.
So help me God.
The seventh reshuffle of the Morrison-Turnbull government was for just one minister. Linda Reynolds is the Defence Industry Minister few saw coming.
Lovely, thank you.
But the one now propelled into Cabinet for the roughly 5 weeks remaining before the election's called.
I will give this job absolutely everything because I understand how important this role is.
7 women in our Cabinet, the strongest level of female representation in the history of Federation.
An Army veteran of almost 30 years, Senator Reynolds is on a promise to become the next Defence Minister if the coalition's re-elected and after the current one packs it in.
I'm not leaving with regret or bitterness. I'm not being forced out of office in some hideous scandal, so I'm very happy.
Being the youngest member...
By May, the parliamentary period of Pyne will have passed, all 26 years of it.
I think I was probably a bit young at 25, so I can understand why a lot of my peers at the time thought he's a bit audacious. It's smooth as silk.
He's quitting his Adelaide seat of Sturt, told the Prime Minister so 5 days ago.
All set to go.
And insisting he's not voting with his feet against the Morrison government.
I'm not going into the tomb. It's at 51. I've got the chance for hopefully another 3 decades of existing on this earth and making a difference somewhere.
A good chance to tease the media every now and then.
Christopher Pyne will stay in his defence job till the end, but not Steve Ciobo. He's finished as a minister and after 18 years will walk from politics altogether in May.
I've never wanted to be a time server. I've always believed politics is a means, not an ends.
He and Christopher Pyne bring to 5 the number voluntarily leaving the Morrison ministry.
Great. Off we go. We've got work to do.
A stampede for the exit and jobs for their mates.
The Prime Minister had already managed 3 retirements without the need for a reshuffle, but the Ciobo decision was leapt on as an opportunity to promote another woman and to claim a record in the process. Even so, this ministerial makeover was an unwanted one, and Scott Morrison's done little to disguise the fact.
I don't get flapped by things like this. I just keep going.
Between now and May, there's no alternative.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And National Affairs correspondent Greg Jennett joins us. Greg, why did the Prime Minister move so quickly to appoint Linda Reynolds as a replacement minister?
Well, it's all about making virtue of necessity here, Jess, because Scott Morrison is wanting to counter any impression that it's all one-way traffic out of his ministry and to show that there is actually a pathway into it for any minister, no matter how inexperienced they might be. So Linda Reynolds, for her part, highly capable woman, but it's worth remembering here, Jess, that she only entered the outer ministry just 4 months ago. She now finds herself in control of $200 billion worth of defence projects, and that is truly rocket-propelled promotion, Jess, by anyone's standard.
And Greg, how disruptive is this ministerial makeover so close to the Prime Minister going back to Government House?
So this is March and the government is deep into budget season to prepare for the April budget this year, Jess, arguably the most important political document of its lifespan. And to have 5 ministers limping towards the finishing line of their parliamentary career doesn't exactly instill the image of stability that any Prime Minister would want to project. But that said, Scott Morrison seems to have concluded that if change is inevitable, at least make it minimal change. And that, Jess, is exactly what Scott Morrison's delivered today.
Greg Jennett, thank you.